I'm right around 40, so I think I'm maybe more of an immigrant than a native.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm concerned if I start doing this that younger people will see my language and they'll immediately just say, oh my God, right? Or I guess they'll say OMG, right?
OMG's
Right. So,
Walls.
can you tell me, like when you read, can you tell the age of someone just by their tweet? And what is the language, what should I be aware of in my language that I'm writing? I'm a writer, I want to write to my audience.
Okay, great question. He's curious about, how do I tailor my language to avoid seeming youthful or foolish?
Ancient and dusty.
Ancient and dusty. Okay. So it's very important to get the lingo. That's you're asking the right question. My quotation here is, I can tell how old you are by the number of times you use like in a sentence. And if you walk around and listen, you can hear, and you can literally tell whether they're in high school or college by how many times they like use sentence.
Right.
And I actually found that using my language as if I were speaking is a very effective way to type myself. So if you write the way you talk, you're pretty much gold because you speak effectively and you'll be able to, it's about translating that into this tiny space. So that's the first and best bit, is to just try to, it's as much as you can, embody your speaking voice and your writing voice. And don't use an acronym that you don't understand or haven't used before and been positively reinforced by using. So OMG is fine, man. People use it a lot. It stands for oh my God, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. And people will say, if there are some common ones you may not know, like LOL, laughing out loud. Usually people aren't actually laughing when they write LOL. Then people will add little things to it to make it seem more superlative, like LOLZ, LOLs, or you can pronounce these, but they're really funny. Lamau, rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. You can Google any one of these acronyms and you'll find the definition. In fact, actually, a great place to learn and educate yourself on the latest lingo and slang is Urban Dictionary. You can follow them at Urban Daily. And that's where I get a lot of my education, actually. Unfortunately, it's user-generated content, so there's a lot of kind of fluff in there.
Yeah,
but it's pretty effective.
So can you see, like when you read, you feel like you can tell the age of the person just by reading their?
More or less, yeah. Generally, people try to hide their age by using language like that. Another way that I try to assert my education is by using punctuation. A lot of people don't. And it takes thought to be able to fit the punctuation properly. Oh, what's that?
Would you explain what that is?
Oh, punctuation. Well,
in your context.
The first example is putting a period at the end of the sentence. You'd be surprised how many updates don't have a period.
Yeah.
They're not sentences. Maybe they don't need to be sentences. Maybe they're headlines. Okay, but maybe they're a quotation. This will be addictive does not have a period at the end. Okay, I wrote it too fast. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was just writing. And so if you actually show some thought, like actually using AND instead of the ampersand, or WITH instead of with W/. These will identify you as having put some thought into what you're saying. Also remember, and this is the basic caveat, it is about the words you're using. When you're writing a tweet or an update or a LinkedIn message or an email, the first couple of words matter. It's your lead. You want to say something active. You want to use an active verb. Maybe you want to be imperative with that verb. Say like, instead of saying what you're doing, say what you want to do, or say what someone else should do. Like write effectively. Write effectively in short spaces. Just use those words and think about your real estate, essentially starting at the first character and going all the way to the end. Does that answer the question? Not good at this. We have one in the back. I think back in the back. Go ahead.
Do you ascribe to the etiquette of following everyone follows you?
Absolutely not.
And how do you manage that?
I have built my following count very carefully and organically over years. I have over 500 at this point. But those are mostly people who don't update that much, or folks that converted to the service. I have maybe 10 or 20 people who update a lot, a couple times an hour or a couple more than that a day. So I choose who I follow very carefully because they influence how I think. Twitter is my news source. Twitter is my breaking news source. It's my earthquake, Geiger counter. It's everything. It's my incoming information. And so I have CNN breaking news on there. I've got the USGS that I follow, and I don't read CNN pick up a Wall Street Journal. I'll follow them, maybe, if they're great at it. But everything else comes from the front lines to me on my Twitter feed, so I don't have to go searching for it. And so I follow those people very carefully.
Do you find that that affects who follows you by the fact that you're not following many people?
So my strategy there is I have my separate account for the book, and if I need to, the question was, does that affect how people follow me? Do people not follow me because I don't follow them back? And I had one or two people say, "You're not following me back. I'm F you," and I'm just like, okay, it's your choice. I don't need to follow you, especially if not if you're gonna curse me out in public. So I do have a separate account. If I feel like I need a pity follow, I'll use the book to sort of say, you're cool, but I don't want to see you every day, but I still want to be able to direct message you if I need to, and I still want to keep up with you, every once in a while, but not every day, all day. And so I wouldn't call it pity follow. It's more like a secondary follow.
So you have your personal account where you're following only a few people, and you might have like a book account where you're building kind of a readership where you might have more.
So I have a strategy for following every account. Some accounts have a following list that's indicative of the account itself. So like I'll only follow other products with my products. So I know that I'm creating links, relevant links to that product or other products. So it's kind of cross-marketing. Another way I'll do it with the book, I'll follow everyone I know who's actually read the book and is trying to improve their writing. So if I see someone say, "I've got your book, I'm excited," I'll follow them right away. And then I'll even mention them in public. I'll say, following along, because I really want to know if this book is improving their writing. And also that allows them to direct message me without having to follow them on my main account. And so my criteria is if they're doing great writing, I'll follow them. And I'll also add them to my list of people who've read the book. I have a list on Twitter. You can use lists now as well as following.
And what does that mean? Somebody made a list for me. They put I have a list. I have no idea what that means.
It just means that someone thinks you're interesting and wants to add you to a list of people to follow or to check up on.
So they have a list of people that they connected to my Twitter page or what?
They added your username to their list for that specific topic. So a lot of times I'll get people adding me to their list of Twitter people, originals, or entrepreneurs or speakers or whatever. I'm just like, it's metadata on you.
So it's recommendations?
It's a bit of
Their
recommendations.
list is a recommendation of you.